Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is the first inaugural episode of the Loom of Fate podcast hosted by me, a green queen, aka Greenie. More on that later. Let's go ahead and jump into this marvelous conversation that I had with Brian Balance, who is joining the Genshin Impact voiceover cast as Mitya for the 7.0 Snezhnaya update. Brian is not only an incredible voice actor, but also an award-winning film actor and a constant student of the craft, which I cannot wait for you all to hear. In this conversation, we talk about Genshin, we talk about cosplay, we talk about philosophies of life, and truly so much more. I absolutely loved getting to know Brian, and I know you will too. There's so many takeaways and so many amazing quotes and, again, life philosophies from him. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this conversation. And if you like this video, let me know who you'd want to see on this brand new podcast next.
It's been 10 years, almost 11. Actually, it'll be 11 years in next month. Oh, wow. Yeah, 11 years next month. I've been doing the Interesting podcast.
And you have been interviewing truly interesting people. Like,
that's the goal.
A wide net of people have been on this show.
Mm-hmm.
You recently had like a woodmaker. Of course, you've had like actors. Okay, your mom.
Yep.
So, like, what is something that you, even in like daily conversation, what is something that you are always really excited to learn about somebody else?
Ooh, I love people. I really do. I think everyone, I love differences. Like if somebody comes from a different background than me or has different interests than me, like I'm just a genuinely interested person. So I like people, and I like, even though all of the outer layers of all of us can be polar opposites, the base element is we're all still human. And I like finding those connections of like, we have nothing in common about our lives whatsoever, but we're both people and we can connect on that. And I just think that's so cool. So yeah, it's just that.
Just that finding that one thing. What's like, do you have an example? Does anything like come to mind when you say that?
Well, so what's funny with me is like, I don't really plan things very often, especially like creative endeavors. And so like with the Interesting podcast, it took me probably, God, I'll say close to 30 episodes before I figured out what it was. So like prior to that, I think it might have been episode like 27 or something. Prior to that episode, everyone that I had on, I'd known before. Either through like, before my acting career took off, I was a professional cosplayer. And so I was like doing the con circuit and stuff like that. And so I would meet other cosplay guests and we'd kind of hang out, and then I'd be like, hey, you should come on this podcast I just started. And so it was a lot of like getting to know someone better that I already knew. But then when I got to the episode with Savannah Kiefer, we did not know each other prior. And to this day, she's one of my closest friends. And so it was this thing of like, oh, that's what this is. It's me getting to know someone outside of like their work per se. And so for me, I'll do 3 weeks of research on someone before I even ask them to come on the show, because I want to find something there that I can like latch onto that just like speaks to me. And so like a great example of that would be Jennifer Hale. Jen is wonderful, a beautiful person. If you ever get a chance to talk to her, highly recommend. Go to a con, say hello to her. She's gorgeous, inside and out. And so she does her hair in braids sometimes. And I remember just going through her Instagram one time, and she had like blue in her hair that was like within the braids. And I was like, that looks so cool. And that was enough for me to be like, I want to get to know this person. Like I knew her from her work, obviously. She's in the Guinness Book of World Records for most prolific video game voice actor that she shares with Steve Bloom, which is insane. But it was like, I know her work, but I want to know her. And we're good friends now. So it's been really cool to kind of peel back those layers of the like kind of public veneer and go to the human being there and like, oh, we're the same. We're not, but we are, you know, just following that.
And this is sparking like another thought I'm having that I've thought of. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on like, how do you think through even like the responsibility of then like putting that interview and that conversation, you know, out to the public? Like just what's your take on that?
Think about it at all. It's just me and them. Like I don't
Mhm.
even come in with questions. That's what the kind of 3-week research is for. Is
Mhm.
like I always tell everyone that's been on my show, I'm like, it's not an interview, I promise. And you'll notice pretty immediately. Because I can't even guarantee we're gonna talk about your work because I don't know what's going to happen. And so
Mhm.
I've been able to develop these like really cool conversations, because I'm just yes anding. And like I'll say something like, oh, remember when you did this? And then they'll say a random comment and I never let anything be. So I'm like, whoa, well, I'll go back. You were what? And like just kind
Yes.
of living in that sort of moment. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't think anyone's ever listened to an episode. I know they have, but
Yes.
I don't think about it, because like I'm
Mhm.
trying to be present and like it's just us. Sure, we're recording and like I'll edit it later. And if you say something you shouldn't, I'll be like, well, let's take that out real quick. But other than that, it's just, yeah, I don't think about it, to be honest with you.
That's honestly very admirable. That's very admirable. I think the editor brain has to be turned off. Like, I mean, as artists, and especially like, I mean, you've been an actor and a cosplayer, so like,
Mm-hmm.
I, I don't, I feel like we all through our career kind of silence that in the moment
Mm-hmm.
editing voice a lot of the
Mm-hmm.
time.
Yeah.
Did you study in theater school acting or like anything
No.
like that?
So
Mhm.
I did children's theater and then I did 4 years of drama in high school.
Mhm.
But I grew up in Naples, Florida. So I was born in North Carolina, lived on a farm there till I was 6, and then moved down to Florida. And I was there until this year. Um, and so I also grew up incredibly poor. So any sort of higher education wasn't really in the cards if it cost money. And I was
Mhm.
terrible in school because I have ADD, and focusing was just not going to happen. And so there wasn't really an avenue for me in the traditional sense. But it was something that like it's all I've ever wanted to do. Like I decided when I was 3 years old I wanted to be an actor, and I've had no other interests my entire life. It's a disease, you
Wow.
know.
Or a calling. I'm hearing this as a
I'll
calling.
take that. I'll take that. When you're a kid, you go through phases, or you're supposed to. You want to be a cowboy, you want to be an astronaut, you want to be a nurse, you want to join the military, do all these things. I was like, nope. This 3-year-old Brian was like, movies, and then that was it.
Wow. So then,
Yeah,
I mean, this is definitely then not surprising that you've gone on to like produce your own films.
yeah, yeah. You kind of have to, right? It's like the worst thing about
Mhm.
being an actor is you got to get permission to do it. You got to get cast,
It's so true.
and only
Yeah.
you know what you're capable of. So it's like
Mhm.
there comes a time, especially now, where you have to give yourself the chance first. Because everyone follows suit once they see it done. And so, like,
Mhm.
if you're like, I know that I can do this, you can get with a writer, get with friends. Phones have amazing cameras now, so like, there's a way to do it. Just, I also can't wait around. It's just not my personality. So
Yeah.
there comes a point where you can do something. So what are you waiting for? you know?
Oh my gosh. This I feel like the people need to hear this. This is really I mean, I'm the people. I am the people that need to hear this.
Sure.
And I'm just so curious because like I feel like when you're acting, and I would
hmm
love to hear this also from your perspective as a voice actor. I've never done voice acting.
Sure. Sure.
Um, I want to hear about your experience of a time that you really felt that sort of like electricity and like dropped into a scene or like a piece of work. You know what I mean? Like I want to
Yeah.
hear what that's like from your perspective.
Sure. When the muse takes over.
Yeah, and you're just like, boom, I'm
For
in it.
VO or on camera?
Let's talk about voice acting.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a show called The Depths, that I was in, and I'm really, really, really proud of that show. I worked on it for almost a year, and it's on Spotify and everywhere else. It's an audio drama that's like, I think 10 episodes. I really should know this. But that's one of my favorite things I've ever worked on because the writer is one of my favorite writers I've worked with. He's an amazing director as well. And so the character I played in that got like a full arc. And the show is very different from what it begins to where it ends. And there's a turn in the show where it's like kind of fun and whimsical. The elevator pitch is about a guy named Elias who's looking for someone named Willow. He wakes up on a beach. and he meets a talking baby seagull and a yeti and these like crazy and anthropomorphic muffins, and like it's really fun and whimsical, and then it takes
Muffins?
a very hard turn, and then you
Okay.
find out a little more like what's going on, and it was a lot to chew on as an actor. And I remember being so grateful at the end of that, and telling the director, so like, this is an actor's dream because I got to do so much with this character. And so there were moments that were really, really fun, and there were moments that were really, really difficult within that one role that I thought was really, really cool. Um, yeah, I'm so bad at staying on track for answers as well.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I
Bring me
mean,
in.
yeah, no, it's all right. I mean, I'm hearing that there was probably a lot of opportunity, and correct me if I'm wrong, like for exploration just because of the stakes and the world building
Yeah.
of this piece.
And you know what, actually, now that you say it that way, I don't really think about it while I'm doing it. So like
Mm.
I'm a nightmare for continuity for on-camera work. Like I'm terrible at it. I always apologize to everyone because between action and cut, I don't think about anything. Like I'm trying so hard to be present, and like I did all my prep, which is where my work comes from. It's like, there's the fundamentals, who are you? What do you want? Where are you? Who are you talking to? Is your tactic working? There's all of that you should have figured out beforehand, but then you should also be present because you can be like, okay, in this scene, I'm going to do this, and they're going to do that. And then they do the exact opposite, and you're like, oh no, okay, well, I practiced it that one way. And so I try to be as present as I can. So
Mhm.
I don't think about anything else other than like the objective of the scene.
Mhm.
And so if I ever do something physical where like I'm talking and I'm walking around, I pick up a glass and I take a sip and everything, and then I go and they're like, cut, cool. Can you do that again? Like with the glass, I'm like, I picked up a glass? No. Okay, what word was it on? I'll try my best, So
Yeah.
I try to, one thing that I have learned for my own process, and that I try to, because I've been a coach for a couple of years now as well, and I try to help
Mhm.
other actors, is to get out of your head. Because it's
Mhm.
not useful. And like you can tell when someone is waiting to say their lines.
Mhm.
It's like the camera
Mhm.
registers thought. And
Mhm.
so with VO and on camera, I would say the only thing that matters is connection. And that's kind of what I teach. But I don't think about anything other than what's going on in the present moment. Does that make sense? Did that answer the question?
My God, of course it does. I feel like if we ask like, I don't know, like Anne Hathaway, that you'd say the same thing. Like that's the goal of
It's
like
the work.
every yeah. I think because the work has to be it has to be that way. You have to be listening
I
and
think
responding
so.
to everything.
I think so. I mean, there are some people. Here's the other thing. Like Tom Hardy said it the best, I think. There's only two types of acting: convincing and not convincing. And how you get there is different for everybody. There are people that will try method. I tried it once and it was too dangerous for me. I unraveled sobbing and the director yelled cut and I couldn't turn it off. And I was like, ooh, this ain't for me. But there are people that it really does work for. There are people who've won multiple Oscars for it. You can get people like Viola Davis, Adam Driver, Oscar Isaac, who all went to Juilliard. And then you have Ian McKellen, Russell Crowe, Christian Bale, who've never taken an acting class. So it's like they're all at the same party doing the same job. So
Mhm.
it's different for everybody. But for me, I've realized the more in my head I am, the less I'm in the scene. And it's not about me, right? Like I'm there to do a
Mhm.
job. And
Yeah.
so I got to take myself out of it to a degree, because as an actor, you also have to bring yourself to the role. That's how you find connection. But
Mhm.
yeah, it's so kind of, weird and ethereal. This is
But
all I do. I just
yeah.
read books on technique and train all the time.
Ooh, wait,
Yeah.
what's like a book that you've really loved reading about
Ooh.
technique?
For on camera, there's a
Mhm.
Stella Adler book that I really, really like. It's the purple one. I think it's called The Technique of Acting.
Okay.
Out of the group theater with like
Mhm.
Strasberg, Udo Hagen, Stella Adler, Meisner, Stanislavski.
Mhm.
Adler's the one that I latched onto the most. I didn't love Meisner. There's only two things I kept from him. I
Wow.
know it's
That's
sacrilege, especially in New
no.
York, I'm sure.
I
I
know.
just,
We
God,
love that here.
I hated the repetition game. Like I understand
Mhm.
the point; it's to teach you to listen, but also, come on, it
Yeah.
didn't work for me. But acting's Jeet Kune Do. You know, it's like use what works for you and throw out what isn't.
No, as you said, yeah. As you said, it's truly what works for you. And before you move
Yeah,
on, because I don't think I've ever done a Stella Adler class.
it's
And I'm
pretty
sure
cool.
any person that I know that's like gone to school with me is going to be like, girl, we did. Like,
Yeah.
but I don't know. So like,
Probably
can you
touched
give
on it.
us like the one liner about that to kind of like get me there with you? I don't,
The
yeah.
two big things with her is like, to boil it down to its base elements, it's training your imagination to like a 10th degree, you know, and it's like really put yourself in, and then using like the as if. So like you don't have any children. Okay, got it. Well, I do have a pug that I'm obsessed with. Well, I can use this child and as if for my pug. So just think about the paternal feelings I have toward Kubo, and I can use that to play a convincing father, right? So there's certain things
Yeah.
that you can do to kind of just like substitute mentally. But yeah, so her book, The Technique of Acting, was one that I was like, ooh, I kept a lot from this. I have a notebook that I've had for years and years and years that I keep notes for all of my training. So if I take a class or a workshop or I read a book, I take notes. And I only write down what I think is useful. So I judge a class, book, or workshop by how many notes I took. And so there's sometimes I'll read a book and I have like 3 sentences, which was my experience with Meisner. But
Fair enough.
then there's other times where I'll take a workshop and I have 6 pages of notes and I'm like, oh my God, yes, this is great. So her book was really, really good. Voiceover, Voice Actor by Yuri Lowenthal and Tara Platt is a fantastic book on voice acting, very comprehensive. And Yuri and Tara are just wonderful. The Practical Handbook for the Actor is another really, really good one. That was William H. Macy and like 5 other people. They're big like mammoth people, which is a
Mm.
whole other thing. Like I'm reading a mammoth book right now and I don't like it.
No notes on that one.
No, actually, I mean, he's got notes, but not for me.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So are
Yeah.
you an avid reader? Like, what is your, like, I guess,
Yeah.
medium of enjoyment, leisure? Like, what do you, yeah.
Ooh, I mean, I kind of do everything like the standard, you know, diet of movies and TV.
Hmm.
I read a lot. I'm obsessed with Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. It is my
Okay.
jam. I have Mistborn tattoos, which I'm real excited about.
Hardcore
Uh,
fan. Love that.
yeah, big. I'm all or nothing, baby. There's no. My last name is ironic. There's no balance here whatsoever.
No, I love it.
Yeah,
Oh,
big fan of reading.
hmm.
Those are kind of my 3 things. Right? Movies, TVs, reading. I've recently, as of 48 hours ago, started playing Genshin Impact.
I gotta tell you, when I saw that tweet, I was like, it's happening.
It's
We
happening.
got him.
You
We got
did.
him, guys.
You're partially to blame because I watched you play it, and everyone else I watched, I'm like, this does seem pretty fun. And everyone's been
Oh.
so cool. And you know, now that I'm in it, I'm like, ooh, I should really learn about this.
I mean, it's like I'm so curious from your perspective because like I mean, there's years of this game. There's like
Mm-hmm.
hours upon hours of lore and side quests that kind of relate to this thing and then all
Yeah.
these different techniques for the characters and the artifact and like all these other
Mm-hmm.
things. Like what has been something that is like surprising you the most that maybe you didn't expect to be happening in this experience either like from the community
Sure.
or in the game?
But I can give you one of each. Um,
Okay, yeah.
the shorter answer would be in the game, the music. My God. I'm in Mondstadt still. Like I got a lyre and I'm like purifying teardrops and stuff. And I'm like, okay, all right, we're gonna help the dragon. I'm learning some buzzwords here and there. You know, so I'm like,
Mhm.
but the music is just the main menu. I'm like, I'm just gonna sit here for 10 minutes. Like, wow, this is calming. It's just beautiful. So that was surprising. Didn't see that coming at all. And like, you know, I was in the con scene for a while, and so like I'd
Mhm.
heard of Genshin Impact, but I'd never played it before. And I'm terrible at video games, and I do not have a lot of time. So
Mhm.
those 2 things make it to where I don't play a lot of games unless they really hook me. And the ADD thing, you know, it's like you gotta hook me or like I don't know what to. So that was the most surprising for the game itself. I've been acting professionally for 12 years, and I have never experienced the excitement and the love and the just acceptance I've gotten from the Genshin Impact community since the trailers dropped. And it has been overwhelming in the best way possible. Like, I don't know what to do with it. You know? Because, like,
Mhm.
as an actor, like, the worst movie I've ever seen, I'm in. You know, it's like that's part of the journey. Is like you're going to work on a lot of terrible things or you'll work on
Mhm.
amazing things that nobody sees. You know, so to
Mhm.
have like a built-in excitement for something, you know, and like, and it started immediately when that Snezhnaya trailer dropped, that first one. Granted, obviously I had recorded that line prior. And when I remember, I've been in this business long enough to where like people say a lot of things and they're very exciting, but it's like, we'll see. Yeah. No, that sounds great. That sounds really cool. Like, yeah, it'll change my life. Cool. Yeah, we'll see. Sounds nice. But I don't believe anything until I see it. Like, it doesn't get in my bones. And
Mhm.
I remember it was like a random Thursday night or something when the trailer dropped.
Yeah,
And
it always is like that.
it's just like, okay.
You
And
wake up and you're like, "Oh."
I remember it dropped and if I'm not mistaken, I think I had a session that day. And then I saw that it dropped and I was like, whoa, that's me. And then my phone blew up for like 4 days because my name is in the credits of the YouTube video for the Transcendence trailer. And people started finding me and people were really excited. And I was like, whoa, I said 4 words, guys. Like, I was just one line, and then I got really nervous because I'm like, you don't know him yet. And you're so excited. All I can
Mm.
do is let you down from here, and it's just like, I hope you like him because you're really excited. And
Mhm.
so it's been wonderful. And when the trailer dropped, because I had recorded a little bit prior to that, like there'd been some time. And I went on to Twitch and I started going into people's streams because I was like, I want to learn about this. Because I've been a lifelong Star Wars fan. And I felt like someone who booked a lead role in a Star Wars movie, but had never seen the movies. And I was like, I know what it's like to be a fan of things and to care so much. I didn't know the game had been going for 6 years. I was like, oh no. And so I just kept thinking, like, I don't want to be that person where somebody comes up to me and they're like, "Oh yeah, so what'd you think of Storm Terror and Mondstadt?" And I'm like, I don't know what those words mean,
Mhm.
And I was like, so I really the love and response that I got from people really kind of made me pretty intense about like I'm going to learn as much as I can about this because it means so much to people. And the least I
Mhm.
can do is engage with it. And so I started going into Twitch streams and I started watching people play it and learning more about the lore and interacting in the chat and asking questions with people. And then when the trailer dropped, I got to have a little fun.
I love the videos of people. I wish I need to go back and find mine of you surprising people and just like so funny. Oh
It's
my
been
god,
it's
yeah,
been a
what
good
was that
time.
like?
I didn't plan it, but I remember because like the trailers came out and like my friend Laura is the voice actor for the Saritsa. She's a wonderful person.
Mhm.
And so she and I have we're in that class where we're both joining the game at the same time. And so she's been with me my entire journey with this. Me and her just went down the rabbit hole of like reaction videos to the trailer of like people watching it, be like, oh wait, oh look, yeah, oh they like Mitya. Okay, all right, cool. And and so then I was going into the Twitch streams, and after the trailer dropped, I'd just be like, hey, so I almost always would start with someone who made a reaction video because then I would find their Twitch page from there, and
Mm,
I'd be like,
mhm, mhm.
oh, so like I would just pop in to say, hey, I loved your video, and they'd be like, oh, thanks so much for watching it, and, have a nice little interaction. And it would
Yeah.
almost always go, somebody would ask who they're most excited for coming up, or they'd ask, who are you most excited for, just as a natural progression of conversation. And my go-to answer, which I'm pretty sure I used on you, is like, yeah,
Mm.
I'm a little biased for Mitya because I'm the English voice for him.
Oh man.
And it's always the double take. You're like, "Hello, Fire Mitya." What?
Yes! Like, wait, really?
Like, that can't be
Stop
true.
everything we're doing.
And it's always like super excited, which like I understand. Like if somebody was in something that I absolutely loved and just like randomly showed up in my house, I'd be like, "How did you find me?" So that's been
Mhm.
really fun. Or complete disbelief. Be like, "No, there's no way that can't be true." And I'm always like, "You can Google me if you want."
That's so fun.
It's been cool, and like
Mhm.
just being able to like I was talking to my wife about this, being able to show up into someone's Twitch stream and just make their day is the coolest superpower ever. Like, just saying hi, and somebody's, like, whole day turns around. Like, there was a woman that I met a few nights ago. It was, like, really late at night. It was Telly Tuxedo, I believe was her handle. And she was just, playing Genshin. We're just hanging out and talking about who was excited for who and blah, blah, blah. And then Mitya comes
Mhm.
up, and I'm like, oh, yeah, dude, that's me. And she freaked out, and her sister was there, and her sister also plays Genshin. And she's like, there's a voice actor in there. And I'm like, yeah, hi, this is saying hi. And then she told me, she's like, I had a really shitty day. Like, today was awful, and this completely turned it around. And I was like,
Wow.
all I said was hi. And it's
Mhm.
so cool to be able to have this, like, outlet now where I can just, like, spread love. It's so fun to be like, hey, just wanna say hi. And I've gotten to know people now, because I'm popping into their streams a lot. And
Mhm.
it's been really cool.
Well, I keep thinking because obviously, you're China Brian on Twitch,
Yeah,
right? So
right.
you like you said, you've been in the con scene, like you're a part of
Mhm.
other fandoms, I'm
Yep.
assuming Star Wars, right?
Mhm.
So like who would be your equivalent, you think,
Ooh,
if that were to happen to you? You know what I mean? Who would be your equivalent to be like, oh my God, they're here.
man. I mean,
I mean,
it's
I'm sure there's a lot, but
It's happened a few times on my podcast where, like, I had guests that, like, so one of my heroes in real life is Ahmed Best.
mm,
He played Jar Jar Binks in The Phantom Menace, and he was Kelleran back in The Mandalorian and everything. He's been a hero of mine for a long time, and his wife and I are good friends now. And Ahmed's just wonderful. But when I got him on the show, he was someone that I talked about I wanted on for years because it was one of those stories where, like, The Phantom Menace came out in 1999. The internet decided they hated Jar Jar for whatever reason. 8-year-old me was like, this is the best character ever. And I remember learning about Ahmed and the backlash that he received, and yet he's kept going. And something about his resilience always, like, really inspired me just as a kid and then growing up. And then I found out in adulthood that he's, like, a black belt in jujitsu, and he rides motorcycles, and he trains a bunch of martial arts. I'm like, he's the coolest dude ever. And I finally got him on my show a handful of years ago. And that was a big moment where I was like, I can't
mhm.
believe this is happening right now. Like, that was one of, I will say, in over 200 episodes, that's one of the only episodes where I was like, my God, I can't believe this is happening right now. He was one. That's because I'd looked up to him for so long, and
Mhm.
to stay one of the coolest people ever. I adore that guy. Wait, the Kresnik's torch?
Who do you feel like has like offered you advice or said something interesting about stepping into this?
I have gotten advice from Laura, actually. Laura's kind of been
Mm.
my Genshin Sherpa because
Did
she,
she play?
She did. I think she does. She knows way more about it. Like, she was telling
Okay.
me about things because
Mm-mm.
all this stuff is codenamed, when you're auditioning. So, like, you don't even know what
Oh
it's
yeah.
for until you get there. And I'm like, oh, oh, this might be big. Oh,
Mhm.
okay, we'll see. We'll see. And then you're like, oh, no, it is. Laura kind of gave me a crash course in either my first or second session there, where she was
Mhm.
like, this is the world, this is kind of how it goes. She tried to explain to me, like, stars, like 4-star and 5-star characters and stuff, and it just went completely over
Yeah.
my head. I was like, okay, I don't know what that is. She's like, and there's pulls, and it's a gotcha game, and I'm like, okay, I understand those are English words, I think. And so she kind of
Mhm.
braced me for it, was like, it's big, it's been going on for a while, this is the fan base, they're very exciting. And I'm like, oh, cool, cool, coul. So I would
Mhm.
say she's the one who kind of, I feel like warning is too aggressive of a word, but I'm going to use it anyway. She's the one that kind of warned me about what I was getting into. If,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
The large global fandom that is the Genshin Impact community. Man.
exactly. And it's pretty great
Mhm.
that the Saritsa herself is the one that was like, this is the world.
And it feels appropriate. Obviously, we
Right?
don't know anything, but, like, obviously, we know that she's, like, in charge.
Yeah.
So, and, like, I'm like, so it does feel right that she
Hmm.
was, sort of the voice for you there. There can be so many voices in this kind of space, and, like, even being
Hmm.
a Twitch streamer, like,
Sure.
you're getting a lot of feedback right away. and then
Yeah.
like kind of balancing that in the moment. And some people come in with absolutely great intentions. Some people come in and they had a bad day. Now they want to make you feel some type of way because they had a bad day. And like now you're kind of
Yeah.
like, wait, what's going on here?
Sure.
Um, and a lot of people give advice, which is something that, like, in my community, I'm always like, this is a community
Mhm.
help desk. I'm like, if you think you know something that I
Okay.
don't know, you should say it and like we should move on. Like, so have people already been giving you like advice about playing the game? Like I saw you
Yeah.
were responding to like a lot of people on X and I'm like, or
Yeah.
formerly Twitter X and like
Yeah.
what is something that like has kind of stuck with you, I guess, or that you were like, oh, that's a good one. I've used that now in my couple hours of
Most
playing.
I'll be honest, most of it goes over my head. They're
Fair
like
enough. Fair
people are
enough. Fair
like,
enough.
"C6, R5, 10 pulls." I'm like, "I don't know what any of that means, guys."
Oh
And
no.
I'm not a gamer. So, like,
Mhm.
I played a ton of games as a kid, and I was obsessed with PlayStation, and I have a PS5, which is what I'm playing Genshin on now. But, like, my brain doesn't really work that way. So
Yeah.
and the other problem is, so, like, the one side of my brain is like, "Let's just have a good time. Let's vibe. This looks beautiful. That's a dragon. Nice. I like this. This is fun." But then the other side is like, "I have to finish this." You know, it's like the side of,
Mhm.
like, ADD, I think, where it, like, locks in or it doesn't. And
Mhm.
so I'm like, if I get a quest, I have to finish it. And then I get another random quest, well, I have to do that one now. And it's very like objective based, you know?
Mhm.
And so I did have somebody, because there's like builds and things and
Yeah.
teams and stuff. And I'm like, okay, got it. I'm just here for vibes, pal.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have right now the Traveler, Kaya, Amber, D-Luke, and Lisa. And I picked
Mhm.
D-Luke. I guess I got like a free 5-star, which
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
learned this morning from someone that's like, "Oh, you got a free 5-star." I was like, "Oh, I did." I was wondering how I got D-Luke.
Oh my god. You
So
just appeared here.
yeah, I'm just like, I know I clicked him, but I didn't know I like chose him.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's been really fun to play with. So
Mm.
I know that there's gonna come a time where actual gamers are gonna be like, "Well, actually, that's not how you play it, and it would be better if you did this." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna do that." So-
Well, I have to share a meme with you. There's you I don't think you've met her in the story yet by any means, but there's a character Nihita, not a spoiler, and there is a wonderful meme of exactly what you just did, but
Really?
it's her going, actually, I gotta say that. Oh my god, the bug, like, it's so good. But yeah, that's like definitely a thing in the
Yeah.
community. I mean, like I think you have a completely different sort of like experience, right? Like
Yes.
you like are working in the game and so
True.
if you need, I will come to yours
Yeah.
and be like, everyone, let
Thank
him
you.
enjoy this, right?
Right.
Like
I
um
I'm really good. Something that I learned very early on in life is I'm very good at curating my space, in the
mhm,
sense of like outside opinions do not affect me whatsoever when it comes to like enjoying things.
you're
Because
amazing.
I've gone down that road, you know, and it's
Mhm.
not good. And then I realized, oh, I have the choice here. And so I'm very big on like, cool, that's how you do it. That's not how I'm gonna do it though. Yes, I'm always gonna do what I'm gonna do.
Mhm.
But I can understand how that would be a little frustrating, both for myself, and also people that are like, "You're doing it wrong." I was like, "I know, and I'm gonna keep doing it
No,
wrong."
they'll have to live.
Yeah,
Guess what? Go somewhere else.
right. I'm here for a good time, you know. It's like I'm very big on like curating a space for like people to be themselves. You know, like
Mhm.
I've had a great time on Book Talk the last like year and a half.
Mm.
Which is so like I read through all of Brandon Sanderson's Cosmere books last year, and I was like making hundreds of like reaction videos as I'm reading. And so I've got like a really, really cool group of people over there that have been very supportive of everything.
Mhm.
And so we're also, you know, I've been going live on there for a long time, but it's just like hanging out, which is why I was like, I think I could do that on Twitch. But we're very like zero tolerance for assholes policy, you know?
Yeah.
And so I imagine it's going to be a little tougher to curate on Twitch, having never done it before, but I'll still do it.
Mm. Yeah, you'll get there. It usually I have to say, yeah, I think it's pretty easy. Like I guess not easy, but oh man, you'll form your community. I'm like, we need to find some mods. Like we need
Right,
to
yeah.
talk like,
He needs
the
security.
mods.
Help this
Yeah,
man.
it's no, it's so true. It's so true. Like even like I'm so grateful. I have 2 mods, and like that is like all I need because they really protect me more than even because I'm a people pleaser
Cool.
person, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like
Sure.
they'll be like, "You don't have to do that," and then I'll be like, "You're right. I don't have to do that." So anyway, yeah, we're gonna like, you know what I mean?
Sure.
You need your managers in the
I think
building.
so. I need as many handlers as I can get. Ask my wife. I cannot be trusted to be by myself.
Oh my goodness.
This doesn't need to get ugly.
Why not? I say we see where this goes. Or you could come next.
I want to hear more about your time in the cosplay community too, because when you're talking about curating space, I don't do a lot of cosplay, so I don't really like
Sure. Well, I haven't
understand a
in
lot of.
years, but yeah.
Oh, I mean, okay, fair. Then can you talk about your time
Yes,
long ago? In the
way
cosplay
back when in the old days.
Yeah.
So it's funny, almost everything I've done has come from that. I mentioned acting's the only thing I've ever been interested in my entire life. And then I didn't really have the opportunity. And so what I would do is like find little outlets here and there. And I was in the 501st, the 501st Legion, which is like so the 501st Legion is like a worldwide Star Wars costuming group. And if you ever see like stormtroopers show up in an event or stuff like that, that's the 501st.
Yes.
And
Oh
so
my gosh.
I was in the 501st for a handful of years, and we did like charity marches and hospital visits and random troops and stuff, which was really fun. So I did that for a lot of years, and then I was the first regional captain of South Florida for the Rebel Legion, which is the good guys version. So the 501st is all bad guys, Rebel Legion's good guys. And so I would do that to kind of scratch the itch of like, I'm doing something. You know, I'm going out there. There's a little bit of a performance element to it, but it's not like attention grabby. It's about being there for the thing. You know, like it's a kid's birthday party, or it's a hospital visit, or it's a Make-A-Wish. You know, things like that where like it's in service to something, which I always loved. And so I was doing that for a handful of years, and then my wife introduced me to Avatar: The Last Airbender. I know. So I didn't grow up on it. She did. So she introduced me to it. I now have a White Lotus tile on my arm.
Oh
I
my
know.
gosh.
I know.
Wow. Why didn't I see that before?
I know.
Wow.
I know. Because it's secret. It's inside, you know? You got to be a member.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
And so I remember I was in the 501st. I was in the Rebel Legion. I was trooping a bunch. And then I watched Avatar: The Last Airbender. And it's life-changing. Like the greatest animated series of all time. And I would die on this hill. And then I was like, maybe I'll make a costume that's like not Star Wars and like just try it out. You know, see what happens. And so I did the Cabbage Merchant because I
Of course
love
you
me a
did.
bit. You know? And I've always loved kind of subtle things that like if you know, you know. You know, like the White Lotus, really. You know, it's like if you recognize the symbol and the pie show on the table, it's like, oh, you're one of them, right? And so I was like, this is so niche that like you're gonna get it or you're not. And this was 2014, 2013, around there.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
I remember I put the costume together, and my wife, when I got done, she goes, even if nobody knows who you are, you look great. And I was like, thanks, Mom. And so
Yes.
I went to my first convention, and I didn't move 4 feet for 8 hours because it was like, if you know, you know, right? And
Yeah.
everyone knew. So it just became a thing where it was like so overwhelmed where people were stopping to take pictures. They're like, oh my God, can you scream it? And I'm like, of course I can. So yes, and screaming my cabbages in convention halls for years. And that shot me straight to the top of the Florida cosplay community where I had no business being. But like the notoriety just got around. That like, oh, there's a guy dressed as the Cabbage Merchant here. And so I ended up becoming friends with these other like professional cosplayers. And then I was in those sort of circles, and then I started getting invited to conventions as a guest because the notoriety had gotten there. So then, while doing that, I had my own media company where I was producing a TV show and everything, but it was like production, you know, so it's like, I can't be an actor, but like I can be on a set. And, you know, trying to negotiate with the universe of like, I know I can't have that, but can I have this? And so I was doing that for a while. And then I was looking on Craigslist because back then, I don't know if it's still there used to be like classified ads for like job listings where you could just like
Mm.
put what you needed. So I was in the like TV video section looking for like clients that I could shoot for.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw an ad for a TV pilot that was looking for extras in my town. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning. I was like, yes, I would like to be a part of this. And I heard back and I booked it. And so I was an extra on this TV pilot. And it was an overnight shoot. They turned a sushi bar into a strip club in like 4 hours. It was incredible. You know, like movie sets are magic, and you see hundreds of people moving things. Like there's nothing like it. And so I spent the whole night as an extra in the scene with this other guy named Bobby Alvarez. Bobby's nephew was the casting director for this commercial. His name's Dimitri. So Dimitri is the person I emailed who's like, hey, sure, come on set. You'll be an extra. Flash forward 6 months. Bobby and Dimitri are brought on as producers on a movie called Tethered. And Bobby read the script and was like, this guy that I just met on this TV pilot, you should have him audition for this because he'd be perfect. And then that was the first movie I ever worked on called Tethered. I booked it and it's been nonstop ever since. So it all just snowballs from there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then I started the Interesting podcast on the set of that movie. I recorded the first 3 episodes on set after shooting one day. And
Wow.
my logo is a cabbage with headphones because it all started from the Cabbage Merchant.
I didn't even put that together.
I know. It all just, isn't that crazy how
Wow.
that works? Domino effect. Growing up, you hear that you're never going to amount to anything, and there was always this tiny part of me that was like, I'll prove them wrong. I'll show them. And then you never once think for a second that maybe they were right.
For an actor, I feel like that is always the story. It's just how are you getting to know people organically, being present in the
Mhm.
moment like you are,
Yep.
and just leaving that kind of impression where someone goes, you know, that guy Brian, he's perfect for this. Right? Like,
Yeah, I mean, it's,
Mm.
you know, people always say it's who you know. I would argue it's who wants to know you, you know?
Oh.
And it's like you have to, I've always seen that the only other person I've heard talk about it this way is Steve Bloom, but I wholeheartedly agree with him. He says
Mhm.
that acting is a creative blue collar job because it's all gigs, right? And so, like,
Yeah.
I love that because I'm as blue collar as it gets. And I was like, hell yeah. And so, in my opinion, I think it is the job of the actor to train constantly, be constantly working on your craft and getting better, so that when given the opportunity, you can be as of service to the writer and director's vision as possible, right? Like we're so, especially on camera, because on camera and VO are entirely different industries and very different vibes. And I was on camera for 6 years before I even started training in VO. So I came from that and I was like, well, everyone's nice here. What is this? And so for me, it's very like, I think sometimes, especially on camera, I'll say specifically on camera, actors get too much credit. We bring ourselves. I'm in no way diminishing the work of the actor as one. But I will say, I didn't shoot it. I didn't edit it. I didn't make the music. I didn't light it. I didn't do my makeup. I didn't even dress myself. But I'm the one on screen. You're not seeing the 8 other departments that made this happen. But it's so collaborative, and I think the credit is so attributed to one spot when it should be shared across. I think the more that you work on yourself and on your craft and get better and get better and get better, that's when people will call you, right? Because it is it's a career risk to vouch for someone professionally. You can love someone, doesn't mean you want to work with them or you want to put them on a set where they're working with other people. You know, so like if you show up as a professional and you're really good at your job, you're the problem solve. We're like, we need this role played by someone who knows what they're doing. I know someone who can do that. You know, like I remember a story I got told once about when Laura Bailey got cast in the Call of Duty, was it Valorant, I think, where she was like the Russian sniper. She's one of the greatest actors, you know, doing it. She's incredible. And from what I heard, because she was so good at that accent and everyone knew that she was really, really good, there was like a last minute thing where they needed to fill that role and they're like, oh, I know who can do this. And then she was on billboards because she's Laura Bailey. She's phenomenal, right? But there's something to be said about having a reputation for being good at your job and being reliable that I feel like is what leads to those calls.
That was an absolute bar, what you said earlier. It's not who you know, it's who knows you. I was like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
put that on a wall somewhere. That needs to be in every acting school ever, because
Right?
reputation is definitely like a huge part of it. And it's just like, okay, well, when you enter a room, are you, ready to accept and go, or are you going to be a
Yeah.
problem? And that plays into it too.
You
Yeah.
know, and like know what you're doing. You know, like
Yeah.
it's a craft. It's a job. Like I
Mhm.
understand there is this sort of like ethereal side to it. I'm living my dream right now and it feels like it. You know, but there is
Mm.
something to be said about like it is work. It is really
Mhm.
hard. And with auditioning, like something that I train all of my clients with is like it's not about trying to figure out what the casting director wants. Because 9 out of 10 times they don't know what they want. They have a kind of frame of reference, like a general vibe they're looking for. But
Mhm.
when you hear it all the time. The casting director will be like, we didn't know. And then they walked in the room and it just clicked. You know, like you
Mhm.
can't manufacture that. So like Bob Bergen tells this story that I've always used that I love a lot. Bob Bergen's the voice of Porky Pig in like a 50-year career or whatever. Well, not 50. I
My
don't think he's that
goodness.
old, but long time. He's Porky
Yeah.
Pig. He was Tweety Bird. He's Marvin the Martian in Space Jam. He's everywhere. In
Oh my
Spirited
gosh.
Away, he was No Face and the Little Frog. Bob's wonderful. So
Mm.
he told the story about how, using the analogy, he said that let's say that you make the greatest fajitas in the world. They're incredible. Like there's nobody that can even touch your level of fajitas. Casting director comes over to your house and they're feeling sushi. There's nothing you can do to make those fajitas sushi because they're looking for sushi. You're just not what they're looking for, and that's okay. But if your fajitas are so good, when they leave, the next time they're craving fajitas, they're going to be like, who was that one person that could do it? And that's how the game is played. But you first have to learn to cook really good fajitas, right? So like the training is all on us. You know,
Mhm.
it's all gig. Everything's gigs. You're hired and fired at the beginning and end of every job you ever do. And just because you do one doesn't mean you're ever going to work again. That's why training's important. That's why you want to
Mhm.
constantly be getting better, right? Be undeniable, as Steve Martin says.
Wow.
Yeah.
I see why you've gone to teaching. And I think though that's why, and that's your work, your training, the dedication you have is why when people get 4 words from you, it
Touche.
it it really creates an avalanche.
That is
Because
something
we're
I'd not
going to a
thought
place
of.
that's very cold.
Yeah, I see what you did there. That is something I'd not considered before just now. That does make a little sense.
It's a great line. And I'm like, I don't know what that thing is, but I know this
Me
guy's
neither.
might maybe gonna tell something about it. I don't know. Like,
Time will tell.
yeah.
I've got my responses chambered at all times, just in case. You
No, of
know?
course. And I never I truly hope I'm not
Oh no,
prying. I
you're
don't
good.
ever mean
Said
to.
you can ask whatever you want. I just can't answer some things.
Well, I would love to ask this. So for folks that are finding this right now and want to get connected with you or, look forward to anything that you're working on, can you
Mhm.
just, let the folks listening know things that they should know about you?
Sure.
Just a few stuff.
I'm in Genshin Impact.
That's right, they should have known that. But if they're here, they should have known that.
Yeah, Mitya is, coming up. As to when, time will tell.
Mm.
Snezhnaya drops in like 3 days, which is insane. Pretty excited about that. I'm pretty findable. I'm at Jedi Brian everywhere. Got that SEO. And my website's brianbalance.com. God, I'm so bad at plugging myself. Yeah, Genshin. I'm in. There should be some movies coming out that I don't think I can say yet. I'm on Peacock right now. There's a show called MIA. I'm in that with Carrie Elwes, which was wonderful. Yeah, I think that's it for the most part.
Could
The
be it.
interesting podcast. It's all on my website.
Fair enough. Go to Pride Balance.
Yeah, I'm fine. You can Google me. I'm
And
there.
I'm so excited for what's to come. I hope we can circle back on this
Sure.
conversation as things develop, because I know that, just lore-wise, we're really in for a treat in this coming, phase of the
Yes,
game.
it's very cool. I can say that. It's so cool. Like, pun intended. It's so cool. There's
It's so
stuff
cool.
that there's stuff that I I mentioned it on Twitter. Like I can't
Mhm.
elaborate, but in all these years, Mitya is one of my favorite roles I've ever played. Like I love him so much. And that I think that's another reason why I was so afraid getting into this, because I didn't realize the size of it. Like I'd heard of it, but I didn't know it would be this,
Mhm.
and gamers sometimes have a reputation that is less than friendly. And,
Fair.
I'm not for everybody, but I'm really excited, and people are incredibly excited for Mitya, and I just hope to God that excitement matches the expectation when you meet him, because I love him. But when I started seeing like fan accounts pop up, I got real nervous because I was like, "Oh God, you don't know him yet. Like, just play it. I hope you wait till after when he comes out and you're like, I love this guy. Cool, great, okay, cool." But I've said 2 lines. I've said 2 lines. I said one in one trailer, and then I said another in another. Like, oh no.
You're in good hands. I
Yeah.
from my heart to yours, you're in good hands, because truly every character in this game has a fan club. And I devote myself to Mitya.
Yeah.
We are fans on my channel, so you will
Wait till you
be
meet him. Wait till you meet him.
protected. Darn, I feel like, oh no, I'm making you more nervous, I guess.
I don't want to let people down, and I don't think I will. Like he's really cool. I cannot wait for you to meet him. Like, and I mean that genuinely from the bottom of my heart. I cannot wait for people to meet him because I love him so much.